All right, so I skipped like an update, maybe two. I fucking forget. Uh, Work has been crazy. We got a bunch of new tools for the. We've got a bunch of new tools for the pipeline that like are literally just made that we're expected to use, and like our production manager is sitting there like, hey guys, here's the list of shots. You're gonna do these many a day, and if we do all these every day with this amount, which is a perfectly reasonable amount, we will finish the movie on time. And then we're given the tools and they don't work for a week. So we're just kind of half finishing all of our shots, and for like a straight week we're just behind and we're losing time, and it's fucking crazy. And then a week, we're nearing the end of this week, and he's like, all right guys, we're like a week behind, but if you could do 5 shots a day we'll be good. And we're like, what the fuck do you want us to do about this? This has nothing. Tech crunched themselves. They cannot pay the bills they are trying to meet, and there's just not enough time budget on the movie now. And so now we have to pick up the slack for them because it's our job just to do all that menial task work that is required. Uh, it's kind of fucked, but it's not too bad yet. And honestly, it's mostly just fucked for our supervisors who are having to do basically double the workload they've had to do for the last couple months. It's fucked up. I feel bad for them. But I'm kind of chilling, so that's cool. And I'll be off the project by the worse this goes, the more they need to re up my contract. So, like, if this all goes to shit, they might just like hire me for another couple months, which would be pretty fucking cool. Other than that, though, if I'm not on the project, then I'm just not on a fucked project. So, win win, I guess. I get to go back into fixing my fucked up portfolio and going into animation. Yay, me! Um, I turned 32, uh, which people don't believe. I still get ID'd at bars and liquor stores. A bunch of my, like, fencing classmates thought I was, like, 20 something. I don't know what's going on. I think I just have my dad's genetics and we just like don't look old. I got that youthful vigor. I got that cum in me. I don't know what's going on, but it's cool. I'm 32 now, baby. Happy birthday to me. My birthday's on the 26th of August, by the way, so it was on Monday. Um, I tried to plan some shit, and then everybody's lives fell apart this month. August was a fucked up month for a lot of people. I wanted to go to Pound Six Pack sand lot. It's basically like an indoor sand gym where you could do archery tag. And I know some archery. I know enough archery to like blind knock arrows, which makes me really fast at shooting arrows now. And so I was just gonna play a rigged ass game of archery tag for my birthday and just school a bunch of my friends at archery, at the archery tag gym, and that was gonna be tight. But then my friend's dad died, and then my other friend, she's moving to Austria, so she had to just pack all her shit, and it all fell the fuck apart. So I was just like, fuck it. And I went to go watch some movies with my buddy Ian. We watched The Matrix and Speed Racer. Two Wachowski sisters. I don't know which direction they transitioned. Anyway, two Wachowski films. Both are absolute fucking bangers. The Matrix holds up. The first Matrix holds up. The uh Speed Racer movie absolutely fucks. That movie is anime as shit. The Matrix is anime as shit too. Amazing. So I fucked around with that, and then I went to a game dev thing for the rest of the day. Basically, there's an indie dev showcase down on Main Street, and what happened was just a a shit ton of trans people made a bunch of fucking games, and all these trans women are hanging out just doing games. And I don't know why trans women are both just completely owning both game dev and speed running spaces, but they're just doing it. So good for them. Played a bunch of cool games. That new Cadence of Hyrule or Crypt of the Necrodancer. Well, those people are making another new game, and it's like Guitar Hero meets Punch Out. Absolutely fucks. Brilliant game. Super smart idea. Uh Played some weird as shit games. There was a game that had a fucking fight stick, but the fight stick was made out of like old textbooks and shit. It was weird. But yeah, it was cool. I had fun. All right, I'm gonna end this with a long ass fencing thing because you don't give a shit about fencing or swordplay or whatever. You can fucking tap out. My week was cool. That's it. See ya. If you want to hear about swordplay shit, woo, stay tuned. So I've been doing a lot of fencing. I've been kind of grinding it hardcore this last month because I'm trying to get through assessments. Basically, if you don't know what the fuck is going on, I think like 3 or 4 times a year, we do rank exams where people can choose to do this big test to rank up and get to the next cord. It's a karate belt. To get to the next karate belt, and then they can go they unlock some classes and shit they could do that are like specialized, and they get a new curriculum. They're a big penis. Um, I failed that test twice, and I'm beginning to realize why I failed the test twice. It wasn't because I'm shit at fencing. I'm okay. I'm as good as anybody else. Not because I'm fucking retarded. I'm learning just fine. It's because the curriculum is fucked up. Basically, there's a bunch of gaps in like the learning in the school that kind of require you to do private lessons with one of the teachers. It's kind of a scam, but really more than anything, it's just the learning thing isn't perfect. The learning system is not perfect for the school for longsword specifically. If you're doing rapier, you just do the classes and you'll pass. This is why there's a shit ton of blue belt rapier fencers, but like way less blue belt longsword fencers and way less red belt longsword fencers. All this is to say that after grinding a bunch of shit out and just completely hitting a fucking wall and not knowing why I'm like failing to do things, I did a private class, 1 hour, $50 with Ben, my teacher Ben. Ben's a fucking legend. He's rated 200th in ish in the world of like best fencers on like rated fencing, but there's a whole chess rating system for it. Um, he's goated. He's super good. He goes hardcore, and I just like after like an hour with him, I know everything I need to know. I know everything I was doing wrong, and this was the fucking problem: is that I wasn't getting precise feedback down to the body mechanics. Because after you just fence him for a bit, and he's like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong. Oh, you're doing that wrong." You're just sitting there like, "Oh, fuck! It's so obvious now." And then he'll just tell you to like push a little bit here and pull a little bit there, or be a little wider, be a little shorter, etc., etc. Push your arms here, not there. You got a wumbo, no wumbo. It's leviosa, and he'll do that shit. And he'll just kind of massage you, metaphorically speaking, into the right direction, and it'll set in and click, and the techniques will all make sense and start working. And I needed this so fucking bad, and I didn't know this, and I this was literally like the thing other people did that I didn't do, and they passed the exams. And I'm realizing that this is necessary to pass the exams now. I couldn't just do the classes, and so it's kind of fucked up. But I guess it's just where it is. And so I did my one private class with Ben. I might do one or two more. They're not that expensive, and he's really cool, and you learn a lot. And man, fuck, I just everything I need to know is suddenly tangible. And everything I was doing and wasn't doing that are correct or incorrect is suddenly obvious and communicated to me. And man, good feedback is just so fucking important. It's crazy. So if you want the minutia of it, it all really comes down to positioning of body and proper control of the blade. I was growing some bad habits where I was failing to properly hold the line. This is a concept where um, basically what you do with swordplay is you position the sword in Italian style. You position the sword in a way that controls the enemy's blade so that if they attack into it or they put pressure on it, you just win automatically and can push through and stab. I was positioning correctly, but I wasn't applying the pressure correctly. So that I was just letting people kind of push through me and bully through my sword when I had complete control. And then I wasn't striking off that. And so that was like one really big thing that I needed to do and needed to be shown and didn't know I wasn't doing. Where just position the sword, don't give them the free pressure, just blow through their shit and hit them and really make sure you're hitting them. Don't let them push either the tip of your sword or the base of your sword away from where the target is. The second thing I wasn't doing was properly positioning with my footwork, my body, so that I would be able to maximize the use of this technique. Because I wasn't doing this, if you do this properly, you get a lot of power and you get a lot more control. And slight shifts of the body to the left and the right in the correct ways will just completely devastate certain attacks. And using these steps correctly when you advance specifically is really powerful. The third thing, pause one sec, there's a spider. The third thing I was doing was I was attacking too close. So we have four measures. We have very close, close, far, very far. And so this is like where the whole like system of measure or distance comes in from. I was beginning my attacks at far when I should be beginning them at very far. And this was a problem. It means that when I would make my attack, my initial like sort of going in strike, I was giving them way too little time to respond to me and giving myself way too little time to respond to them. What happens if you use the technique correctly is you approach, you throw an attack, and then you step two measures in and make that attack lands. What this does is that you begin the attack at very far, step in and keep making the attack too far, and then step in again and make it too close and finish the attack. And if at any point between those distances they don't stop you, you just hit them. But they will if they're good or if they're not stupid. So what you'll do is you'll make the attack, step in from very far to far, and then they will respond to you. You respond to them, finish your attack in the new defense or in the new control that you're in, and then step into close and hit them. And this is the minutia of the technique. I was doing this at far, not very far. So I wasn't giving myself that extra time to start at that extra distance, advance one distance, and then advance another. Instead, I was just doing the attack and then advancing and trying to get the hit. And it would work sometimes, but it wouldn't give me enough time to react to their response to my attack. And that was fucking everything up. The last and final thing is that I wasn't covering my bottom right side. This is a really weird thing where, because of the way the arms are shaped and the way you hold a sword, you do your arms are shorter and longer in one guard than they are in another because of how your body's stance is. Basically, if you like were to hold like a stick out in front of you, one hand would be on top and one hand would be on bottom. Think like kendo stances or kenjutsu stances, right? Well, because of that hand position, you have less distance on your right side than you would on your left side, or the opposite. If your right hand is on the top, you have more distance on the left side than you do on the right side, which is weird. Because your sort of bottom hand is constrained against your body and tangled up a little bit. And it means you actually have to orient and shape your body and push out even further to the side than you normally would. And this changes a lot of your body mechanics and was fucking me up, and I had no idea. Because once you have all the padding and the gloves on and all that other shit, that small hand grip distance thing changes massively. And as a result, I wasn't properly defending my right side when I was doing my attacking approaches. And that was also just fucking everything up because now my right side wasn't protected. And so I had to like sort of micro adjust over like multiple iterations with my teacher until eventually I got to that right hand position and like my body just knows where it's supposed to be now. And so yeah, these are all like the kind of things I got from this that are really important, frankly. And I was just information I couldn't get otherwise. So yeah, good class. Really satisfied. I'm gonna try and like do these things. I'm gonna do them tomorrow at open floor, and we'll see how it goes. Woo, fencing.